Alright. And we should be live. I'm going to check for in a moment, but first I do have to let everyone know that I'm going live with another live stream. Anyways, it says we're live though, so I'm going to assume we are for the immediate time.
Alright. Yeah, if you hear me coughing throughout this, I'm kind of getting over a little bit of a cold, so...
Yeah, hopefully
if you hear me coughing through it... Oh, I'm feeling better, I'm just dealing with that post-sickness cough that you get.
Ah. Oros says late today. Okay. Sorry, Oros. Yeah,
it's just work interferes.
Alright, so we are in fact live. Awesome. Perfect. Alright. Hello everyone, Ace here. Today I am joined with returning guest Jedi Knight.
Greetings. I am back to destroy my brain even further with this.
Yes, because today we are back with Star Wars The High Republic Adventures, except not. Because this is the free comic book day issue, which I'm going to assume I'm going to treat like its own little mini-series, I guess, and just consider this to be a one-off, albeit tied to High Republic. But it's still Daniel Jose Older, so... Also...
But hey, at least we get a 2-in-1 deal on this one. Somehow.
Yeah, because this also features Avatar The Last Airbender. Someone get ER so he can check out that part, I think, because I know he's a big Avatar fan, and that'll be interesting.
I mean, should we get him on?
He's a big subscriber, or he's a big channel, I mean.
One of those.
Yeah. Anyways, so Oro says the effect these comics have on the Force, yeah. But like I said, I'm joined today by returning guest Jedi Knight.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, let's go ahead and jump... Oh, by the way, chat, let me know if you... I do have a fan running in the background. Let me know if you can hear it. If you can, I will turn it off. But if not, then I'll just leave it on. It's a little toasty today, I'll admit.
And,
but,
I'm outside right now, so if you hear cars passing, then my bad.
But anyways,
just gotta enjoy the nice weather somehow.
But anyways, let's go ahead and get right into it. Starlight Coda, apparently. Script by Daniel Jose Older. Okay, so they have Amy Chu, who is doing the script for Avatar The Last Airbender. Amy Chu. That name sounds vaguely familiar. Why does that name
Didn't she actually work on the show? I don't remember. I thought I saw her name in the credits.
Maybe? Let's see.
I'll have to rewatch the series again.
Okay, so she's an American author. Uh-huh. She's done a few Wonder Woman comics, okay. Red Sonja Volume 4 and Girls Night Out. As well as a Poison Ivy comic. I'm noticing a bit of a theme here.
Yes, definitely.
She also apparently wrote some Devil May Cry comics. Green Hornet, okay. Well, I don't know how this will go on. She also wrote some of the Deadpool comics as well, so who knows?
Oh yeah, everybody's favorite Merc with a mouth.
Yeah, to be fair, I've been doing a lot of shorts videos out of the game recently.
Honestly, everybody's been getting into shorts. It's like, do we really need to compete with TikTok? Just let it do its own thing. It'll burn itself to the ground. I don't know.
Well, YouTube will screw you over if you don't do it, basically, is what I understand how it works.
Which is unfair, but then again, life isn't either.
Yeah, but anyways, at least a few of the shorts I've had have gone viral in the past, so maybe I can get some luck with those.
I mean, who knows? Maybe you'll become famous. Well, you already are.
Well,
in some ways than one.
Oro says, there may be some good here, but doubts that cloud the mind. For no one can trust the High Republic. Yeah, keep in mind, Amy Chu is not responsible for the High Republic portion. She's just responsible for Avatar. Anyways, also, this is apparently a Dark Horse Comics comic, so good to know.
I mean, it's good to have Dark Horse back in Star Wars, but at the same time, is it worth doing stories for authors like this? I don't know. Who am I to judge?
Who knows? Maybe the Avatar portion will actually be good. It would actually be the perfect palate cleanser if it was. I would think. I haven't actually read this comic yet.
Fingers crossed, my friend. Fingers crossed.
So I can see we are actually going back with the High Republic Adventures characters from the original comic book series. And already I am noticing issues with the art style. Like, the character in the front here, look at her eyes.
I know, she looks like she's drunk. She's like, hey, Padawans, I'm gonna defend you. Just get behind me. Shit, why isn't this working?
I'm going to assume that they're trying to have it look like she's aiming, even though there's no sights on this blaster. Which, yeah, there's no sights on the blaster. I do need to point that out. Strike one.
Yeah, where are the scopes?
Two, the pupils on her eyes aren't even properly aligned, so strike two. Three, she's not even...
Chat.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say in the chat, does she look drunk or like she's high on meth? What do you think?
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
We should probably make a game out of this, whether this is drunk face or meth face.
Let's do it. Make this more entertaining.
Maybe. And chat can actually come up with a decision on that. Also, strike three for her. She's not even properly shouldering the blaster either. You can tell it's sticking over her shoulder rather than into it where it should be.
Yeah, I can imagine she just shoots it, it recoils, and then, oh, fuck my nose, it's bleeding. And I think it's broken. Then again, her species probably doesn't have one. She just has those little tiny nasal cavities, I think. Yeah. I don't know how... I'm not too in-depth into some of the species, but hopefully I'll have the chance to look into it.
Assuming that this that would assume this blaster kicks, and by the way, she's not in position for it to hit her nose. It would actually likely either fly backwards and out of her hands, which is hilarious, and smack the Jedi that's behind her in the nose.
So smack Lula in the face.
Yeah. Or it would alternatively, assuming that she's sticking it out away from the shoulder, smack the shoulder. And you don't want to... There's actually a little prank that people that are gun enthusiasts will do, which is that sometimes they'll tell idiots to stick the gun out away from the shoulder. Don't do that. All that does is cause the stock to have more room to accelerate. So it hits you with more force. It's just common sense.
It's just common sense. You don't need to be a gun enthusiast to know that. It's just common sense.
I know, but still, that's something I know, but it's still something.
I'm just surprised people will actually tell up people who are inexperienced that. Like, is it just for shits and giggles or something else?
I don't know, but I think we're getting way too stuck on just her holding the blaster, to be honest.
Okay, let's talk about how they're all cramped together in this one space. Like, how are they not mutilating each other with their lightsabers?
To be fair, it looks like they're going through a door or the door is opening, so that would be part of it. But anyways, Ura says she looks like she is high on fake force, and TBA says she has too many of her teeth for it to be meth. Yeah, what we should instead I guess what we should make it is drunk face or weed face.
Cocaine maybe? Or do you have to lose teeth for cocaine as well?
Cocaine tends to make a person a lot more active, I think, but
yeah. like seriously, I think they look like they just got busted by the police for a drug deal, so they're just prepping. they're just like, oh shit, the cops are here, quick, hide the meth. There's no meth. Then what did I just smoke?
I'm going to assume that this dialogue is from Farzala, so
Actually, it's blue, so I think it might be Lula.
Okay, if it's Lula, then I'll voice it. Something stalks
Alright.
us through the corridors of Starlight Beacon, our home. An explosion went off soon after we docked. Then fear gripped us, an unnatural fear. We fled. Masters Ubertuk and Tabakan vanished in the chaos. Our prisoner, Crix, is still on the Starhopper, with a few other captured Nile. But they're unguarded. Ishnar seems to be the only one not affected. That thing, it's between us and the Starhopper. There's no way back. We can't reach anyone on the comms, and even the Force itself seems to have teeth bared for us. Everything is falling apart, and all I can think about is...
It's back.
Uru says, better question, how has any of these characters survived this long in the story? Dying now would be like the universe forgot to make sense and is trying to correct course. Yeah, well, to be fair, we are talking about Daniel Jose Older, and this is far from the worst that he's written.
I think them dying at this late in the story might actually be a blessing in disguise from the universe.
Yeah. Zoom.
I mean...
Zoom. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, I mean, if they want to defend Starlight, they could just glue their hands to the walls.
They could. Also, didn't the explosion on Starlight occur before they docked in the regular run?
I have no idea. I don't think they know how time works.
I think it
I don't think they know how time...
I think it exploded before they actually made it back. Well, wait. No, it was another comic. It was Trail of Shadows where it was that way, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this might actually fit. So far, okay, so I take that back. This might
Redacted.
Yes. Zoom. Okay, I think I scared... Oh, wait, that's your character.
Oh, no, that's... hold on.
Yeah, that's your character.
Okay, I think I scared it off again, but... We can't keep doing this. What choice do we have? If we try to go back...
We can't go back. But we don't know what's further ahead, and we have to get these kids to safety. That's the most important thing. We'll take a small team to escort the younglings to the Jedi quarters and see what we can find. Lula's right. Count me in. Maybe there's another way to get them off here. We have to try.
I'm not even going to try to come up with an alien language for that. Because I literally don't know how it's supposed to sound.
Yeah, just do whatever, really.
That's the best I got.
Alright.
I'll go too.
Farzala, stay with them. We'll see you on the other side of this.
Very well. I'll keep the others safe. Just don't die.
1, 2,
For light,
3.
uh,
For light.
For light
life.
and life. Chito corridor, gato bring us.
My God, this art. It's back. Just look at the faces.
Yeah.
Ugh.
They got that Slenderman stuff going on. It just kind of comes out of nowhere.
Maybe someone there will...
It's one of the creatures.
Oh, wait, that's my line.
Yeah.
It's one of the creatures.
Keep younglings back. Bibs.
Oh!
Yardo. No.
I think that's your character still, the Bibs one.
Oh. Bibs, rather, no.
No!
Tita.
Court! Wait! Scree... Court, are you okay?
Bibs. Rather, gone. The creature ran away, wounded. Bring younglings quickly.
Oh wait, he died? Court!
No, he's not dead.
Alright. Court! Easy, little guy.
Court. Okay. Must keep going.
Run, run, run! Just like at the Rumble race. Don't stop!
Okay. Okay, seriously. Okay, seriously, we're gonna reference that. Do you need assistance in pulling your hair out?
TBA says...
I already want...
Oh, sorry.
No, you first.
Alright,
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Uru says, Ace, you are trying to use the plot and continuity in this comic. Do not try. Remember Yoda's words. Do not try. Did you mind
what was the other guy gonna say?
TBA says, I'm not a huge fan of dreadlocks. But the artist clearly wanted to draw a Medusa instead. Yeah,
that's a good one.
It's kind of like a Medusa in a way. Whenever you see this character on page, the comic turns to shit.
What if she is Medusa? Conspiracy time. Lula is Medusa. And I base that logic on absolutely nothing.
You don't have...
Like this comic.
Yeah. Uru says, did you mind the suffering, Ace? I didn't. The fact they're trying to tie in some of the stupider things in... Some of the stupider filler stuff in to not make it filler. No.
Honestly, this feels like the gang in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia trying to write a comic that's meant for all ages, but as per tradition, they fail miserably. And I feel like D is basically the one that writes all of it.
Okay, I want you to look at something in this next panel. The one on the... Well, the one in the middle left. So, you see how detailed Lula looks, right?
Is that the one with the big red lettering?
Yes.
Yeah, I see how detailed she is. What about her?
Yeah, so she has decent shading and decent enough detail. Then you look at the characters that are just behind her and how little effort was put in. Like, buckets of blood over there.
Yeah.
This is actually truly impressive. Because this shows just how inconsistent even individual panels can be with the art style.
I mean, to be fair, though, I will give them credit for individual character designs. At least some of them can look consistent. But all the same, that doesn't excuse the lack of effort they put into the background.
Exactly. Especially when that background is only a few feet behind the character in focus, so... Rose says, there are no conspiracies in this comic. It is the Philosopher's Stone that turns everything into crap.
Wow. Yeah, still, as much as I don't like what they're doing with this era in the Star Wars period, I'll at least give them credit where credit is due in some spots.
Fair enough. Alright. Chum, chum, chum. Ah! I'll go and handle...
Oh my god, look at her teeth! Is she on a British dental plan?
Alright, I think you had an ah there for you.
Oh.
But yeah, I see.
No, you're good. It's just, I can't stop looking at her teeth. It's like, what the fuck? No, seriously, is she on some sort of, like, British dental plan or some shit, or is it something else?
I don't think the teeth are that bad on that, but I could be mistaken.
I don't know. It's hard to tell, especially with the sun out. But then again, I think people can just take it how they will.
Yeah. Anyways, you still got an ah there from that one character on the left.
Yeah.
All right, there we are.
Yeah.
Cricks.
Who's there? Show yourself. Wait, Mr. Buckets? What the hell are you doing here? Where are the others? Where are your robes? Wait,
this is after he took his robes off and went mostly naked, isn't it?
Yeah, how did he cover up his mostly nudity?
Oh god, are they going to reveal that he hasn't actually died? You know, the big deal that was in the end of Trail of Shadows?
I don't know what the fuck they're doing here. It's like, I don't think he wants to kill off certain characters because plot relevance and some kind of likability people have. I mean, honestly, I can't wait till the new season of Futurama. Then I can actually clear my head of this.
Oro says these Jedi do not have dental plans. They do not have plans in general.
Yeah.
Holy heck, am I getting angry just being in the presence of these characters. The memories. Yeah.
I think we could actually write these characters a lot better than these writers.
We probably could.
I bet that.
Which
I want to do.
I don't consider myself to be a particularly good writer. I mean, the most I've done, the most writing in a traditional sense would be I've written some of the mission briefings for Battlefield 1918. Because they show you some of the historical battles, so I try to give a basic general premise going on there. Although I haven't written all of them, I will admit that too. So it's only some of them.
I mean, not all writing has to be complex, though. I mean, even the simplest writing can actually come out to be really emotional.
Anyway, I think, for example, one of the maps, if I remember correctly, one that I know that I believe I've written would be for the Albania map. So if you look there, that should be the briefing for that one should actually be that. I also believe I also did, of course, the script for Broken Hill. In fact, it was my idea to add that particular map back in 3.1. In fact, although I didn't actually make that one myself. I didn't actually make the map. What we did was he actually asked a guy. What was his name? Russian Comrade. It was his name. Actually Australian, for the record. But,
Actually, Ace, now that you bring this up, I'm getting memories from when we all did the Cockney War stories back in December. I kind of feel like we should do that again.
I've actually been thinking of that as well. Maybe not that, but I've got a few ideas in mind. I just need to find the right books, or ebook versions of them. What I was thinking of is I happen to have, for example, a book about basically it was the autobiography of a British submarine commander during World War II. And I think that would be interesting. The issue is we would probably have to jump a few chapters into that because if we're going to focus on World War II, because he actually starts off with his experiences, which would have been in the 1920s, starting off before getting to World War II. So he had a fair bit of experience prior.
Seems fair enough.
But yeah, there's a lot. Anyways, so I'll go ahead. Someone else.
Anyways, back to semi-pornographic imagery.
Someone else needed my robes more than I do. The younglings have evacuated safely with Court, but what happened to him?
The creature came back. I tried to hold it off, but the closer it got, the more freaked out everyone was. By the time I scared it off, they were all like this. The Nile are out, loose in the station, and they're hunting for the Jedi. I stayed behind while some passed by earlier, but we can't fight them like this.
Okay, how did you hide all of the Jedi that are freaking out in a hallway?
I think it's just 2 of them.
Well, he was supposed to... This character was supposed to stay with the younglings, right? Or no. No, this character was supposed to scout ahead. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think... It's hard to keep track sometimes. I don't know why.
Well, I think it's because the plot is a little confusing right now. Anyways, Oro
It's
says...
just time jump after time jump.
Yeah. Oro says, hello, writer here. I have said multiple times that this guy is crap, and yes, doesn't matter if you guys are or aren't. You'd be boatloads better than him. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks. I hope to do that. I hope to remake this. I hope to remake these characters one day, if possible. But then again, I don't know if it'll happen.
Hopefully it turns out interesting, to say the least.
I know it's. I've been. I'll tell you later. I'll tell you after the stream.
All right, no worries.
Yeah.
Then we have no time to lose. If we can't fight the Nile, there's only one way to keep these Padawans safe.
I'll do whatever has to be done.
Hide their lightsabers and get them out of those robes quickly. There should be enough Starlight maintenance uniforms in here for all of them. Why wouldn't the Nile just kill Starlight Beacon crew?
Exactly.
Why wouldn't they? These guys are pirates. Ruthless pirates that murder people just for the heck of it.
No, what you should do is kill some Nile, steal their uniforms, and smuggle them out that way. It's so fucking simple. It's so fucking simple, yet the simplicity of the situation does not stare them in the goddamn face for some reason.
I know. Also, back to the artwork. Look at Buckets of Blood's hands. Look at how massive they are.
I mean, trust me, I know his species are not supposed to have hands that enormous. Like, you've seen Masamita in prequel trilogy, right? Yep. Not even his hands are that big.
Also, it seems to be rather consistent, because even in one of the top panels, you can see his hands are massive compared to his head, his biceps.
Yeah, it's like... How is this artist not correcting his inconsistencies?
I don't know. Maybe it's because...
Was he high when he did this?
Maybe. Also, keep in mind, they meant this comic to be free as well.
Yeah, so... make it free, put as little quality into it as possible, equals no profit, but...
Also...
the work is out there, so at least that matters.
Yeah. Yeah, Or it says also, Buckets is ripped in this style. Yes he is. TBA says, dude could palm a beach ball. And Oros also says, make new characters.
Make new characters in terms of D&D styling? Maybe.
Alright, let's go ahead and carry on. Where are you, Crix?
I think...
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, I think the rest of this one mostly might be you.
Okay. Where are you, Crix? Show yourself, you pathetic coward. Wait. We're in Aram's atmosphere. That means Starlight really is lost. And so
are you, Lula. Oh, do you want him or should I?
Well, I was voicing him as the 90s kid with attitude voice, but go ahead.
Alright. And so are you, Lula Talasola. All I have to do is... I'll have to tell Sabata she was right about you, Jedi. So predictable.
Now, I think this is the panel where the teeth are kind of looking messed up.
Okay, yeah, maybe I was wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, this one, her teeth do actually look more messed up. Even Oros's comment, those teeth.
That's basically what's going to be a talking point of this whole comic, is just Lula's teeth.
You.
In a few seconds, this detonator will blast the little beam on your beam you're standing on clear off the station. I'll head back inside and meet up with my Nihil buddies, and we'll take the Starhopper to safety. Why are you telling her your plan?
That's strike one. Strike two, the beam she's standing on. You mean the beam you're also standing on? I'm pretty sure
Probably.
Yeah, it looks like he's standing on it as well. Or at the bare minimum, he's right beside her when it goes off, you know, with the explosives. Also, thirdly, since this is in the atmosphere, okay, you know what? I'll just assume that some sort of shielding or something on Starlight Beacon is preventing these two from just getting roasted instantly from entering the atmosphere.
I mean, to be honest, Estella was holding the ship together for the most part, so...
Alright.
Probably with a few of your Jedi friends on board as prisoners for the eye to feed his pets. And you'll die knowing you were outsmarted by some Nile kid. But you won't stop me, because you'll be too busy trying desperately to stay alive, light and life and all that garbage. And that's what you get for turning my best friend against me.
Okay, so real quick, with regards to his face in the previous in those two panels,
the fact that he looks super feminine.
The fact that he actually kind of looks old with a receding hairline in the first one.
Yeah.
The second one, that looks like a meth face.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That looks
He's got
like
the grin. He's got the grin!
Also, the teeth looking like they are rotting on his inside, at least some of them, because of the way the artist drew him.
Yeah, he does look toothless in that spot.
That's a meth face. Oh. And TB says,
honestly, whoever made that comment earlier, I apologize. This is the real meth addict here.
Yeah.
Ishnar was just drunk.
In fact, I think it was TBA, and TBA says, that's our meth face. Yes.
Yes.
Or says
also, after you do this quote, there's something I want to point out.
Alright. Uro says, and once more, this comic defeats logic.
What logic?
I know. And there is
I don't think there was logic to begin with.
Alright, and one final one from Uros. And again, Force choked the kid that got traumatized by that same thing being done by his friend that this other chick used the Force to turn into a lesbian. Yeah, that too.
Yeah. That's what I was going to bring up. Care to do the honors?
And no, you go ahead, actually.
You did all that yourself. Lula, no! If I go down, you're coming with me, Crix. And then the comic just sort of ends after she says Zine. Comic just sort of ends. Like, how did he turn her against you? You fucking turned her against him. You are the one who basically convinced him. You are the one who basically made him hate the Jedi by not explaining himself. You basically made her think that she didn't need him. You didn't just actually go after him and try to help him. You are the reason that he lost his best friend turned against him.
I think they're trying to go with the whole he accidentally shot her down with a single blaster shot by pure circumstance, but even that's kind of
far-fetched. I mean, that one was an accident, and Zine was just acting like a total bitch.
Yeah, she went complete psycho on him.
Yeah, for no reason.
So wait, they killed off Lula and Crix, is what I'm getting.
Allegedly. Allegedly. We won't know until probably the end of summer.
I mean, they imply that buckets of blood died at the end of Trail of Shadows, so I'm not holding anything to chance on this.
I'm not either. Honestly, this was... I don't know what to... How would... Since you're the main owner of the channel, let's have you go first. How would you rate this comic?
God awful. It's completely in line with what the original High Republic series is. It's just not as bad as the worst of the very worst issues of High Republic Adventures, but it's still pretty bad. They somehow managed to fit 20 pages of stupidity into 11.
I get more brain... For me, I give it a 3 because I get more brain dead every time I read the Adventures line. I mean, at least the Marvel line has some kind of drama in the sense that it feels more adult, but even then, it feels like it's trying too hard. Then again, I can't blame them because Kevin Scott basically made The Rising Storm into a porno, allegedly, and I can't back that up. I don't know. I'm just looking for any silver lining just to take our minds off this.
Or it says, these people killing anyone that represent their diversity crap is nigh impossible. You would think that, but here's the thing. The most famous example of a bad self-insert... so the most famous example of a Mary Sue was the original Mary Sue, right? Who was killed at the end of her little story arc.
Exactly.
With absolutely everyone praising her because she did a heroic sacrifice, and it was a classic case of bad fan fiction. But although I'm now morbidly curious to see just how bad that one is in comparison to, well, modern writing. Imagine if modern writing ends up being so bad that it actually makes the original Mary Sue story seem good by comparison.
Because somebody, despite being a self-insert, actually puts some kind... I think she puts some kind of passion into it. I don't know. But
yeah,
it's like...
Maybe. I don't know. I have not read the story. All I know is that the character was completely perfect and that she made a heroic sacrifice in the end. Leonid Kuznetsov, I think that is, says, oof. All right.
Honestly, I feel bad for girls that are actually named Mary Sue because it's like... They're just, every time someone hears that phrase, they're just going to associate any girls who were named that with that character. And I kind of feel bad.
Yeah.
If you check, if you see my point.
It's kind of like running into a woman named Karen.
Yeah. Like, then again, I think there's... Huh?
Oh, sorry. You were saying?
No, what did he... No, I was asking what did he say.
Oh. Oro says, at this point, I think we'd prefer the original Mary Sue. I would have to read that before I make any judgment either way on it, but yeah, this is pretty atrocious. And with that said, let's move on to seeing what they did to Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Fingers crossed this is a good palate cleanser.
Well, the art style is going for something very different, so there's that at least.
Yeah, true.
So, who do you want to voice of these characters?
I'll take Sokka.
And all right, and you get one more.
I'll take Toph.
Okay, cool. So I'll be Aang and Katara. So
All right.
I'll be slowly romancing myself.
Well, when you word it like that, people will take that as they will. God. We are on fire tonight.
Yes, that would seem. Well, let's see how this goes. Maybe this is actually decent. We'll see.
Let's hope so.
Right,
anyways.
Yep.
Your turn, Katara. Show us something that no one else can do.
Ta-da!
Let me guess. More waterbending. Cool, but you can touch your nose with your tongue like... Can you touch your nose with your tongue like this?
Look, smoke. Lost and found.
Could be the Fire Nation.
Let's go check it out. Appa, Yip yip.
Hopefully it's just a nice rest stop with more hot meals from friendly locals. Or not.
What happened here? Was it the Fire Nation?
They're like bandits. The prince going east. Could be survivors.
We should go help them. Where's Toph and Momo? Okay. Okay. Toph, we need to look for survivors.
Can't you see him? Can't you see I am?
She is? Yeah, she told me how. She feels the vibrations in the earth, and it shows her where everything is.
Someone is still here. No one could survive. Hey, watch it!
Aurora says all was peaceful until the Laser Nation attacked. Also, if they mix these stories, the closest we're going to get to Airbender is the Na'vi, and yes, I am being offensive on purpose to all those Smurfs.
Nice one. I don't get it, but oh well.
James Cameron's Avatar.
Of that. Never cared for it, so I didn't care to keep up with it.
I'd say it's overrated myself, and I was saying that even when it came out and I saw it in theaters. Everyone was saying, but the movie looks so gorgeous, and I was saying, yes, but the plot is so bland.
The plot is a stereotypical environmentalist protect nature plot. Not in a good way either.
Captain Planet was more creative than it in that regard, too.
Yeah. Because at least it produced entertainment value for some group, I don't know. Anyways. You'll see. What were we going to say?
Oh, sorry. I was going to mention that, hilariously, Captain Planet did give us a character that we didn't realize would become a big name later on, although it's not the exact same character, but it had the same name.
Well, then again, it was the 90s. They were producing all the iconic stuff.
Captain Planet is the first show to have the character of Duke Nukem.
Nice name.
Except it's not the same Duke Nukem that we all know and love, although he does wear sunglasses.
Cool.
Apparently his thing is super radiation.
Nuclear energy. Now that's clean.
Yeah, hilarious that an environmentalist show is going after that.
Actually, it's more ironic.
Indeed. Anyways, Uru says Space Pocahontas. Don't even get me started on James Cameron's Avatar. Okay, so first of all,
God.
You know the material that they were trying to mine, right? And how it's an element?
I think.
Okay,
I haven't seen the movie. I only watched it once. I haven't seen it in years.
So that really rare element, I think they call it unobtainium or whatever the hell it is, that you see the guy with a floating piece of it in his room or in his office. Fun fact. Once you get to past a certain size, every element that has more protons after that is radioactive. And it has a habit of being... because these elements tend to get more unstable with more protons in the nucleus, the more they start to get increasingly more radioactive. So that little piece of rock that he was just tossing around and holding in his office was actually highly radioactive.
It was a walking nuclear bomb.
It was just highly radioactive.
Oh god, so he was basically giving himself instant cancer.
Yeah.
Honestly, when you start to look deeper into the plot of Avatar, the Na'vi are actually the bad guys. When you stop to think about it, they're the ones who are actually the bad guys.
Well, the real bad guy is the guy that they sent to try to negotiate with them and failed to negotiate with him. At no point did he ever explain, yeah, we're here to mine a resource. Could you just give us a plot of land that we can mine the resource from and, keep your trees safe and whatever. Something like that, but
basically
no.
everybody's wrong. So basically everybody's the bad guy. It makes sense.
Well, he in particular is the main protagonist in particular is an asshole because instead of that, he decided to get into a relationship with one of the characters instead. He spent his time trying to romance a character rather than actually being a diplomat, the thing that he was there to do specifically.
Like every other U.S. politician we have. Let's get back to the comic before this starts getting too real.
Yeah. All right. One more. Or two more.
All right.
Ura says, I unleashed the Kraken. And TBA said, Kraken, but he put Asen instead of... and then TBA says, oh yeah, unobtainium, the writer equivalent of cool-sounding name goes here. Yeah.
That's not how it works. James Cameron, that's not how it works.
I can also go into detail talking about the different types of radiation, what they are, and what they actually do to you, but we should probably continue.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, great job, Tough.
How did the kids survive under there? Amazing.
What's your name? What happened here?
Why aren't they talking? Stop, you're traumatizing the kid.
On the one hand, Toph would be the one to know because she could physically tell that the kid is getting stressed out. On the other hand, Toph is the kind of character that is the tough character as well, so it's a little odd that it's a line coming for her, but it also makes sense, so...
I mean, they also portrayed her as a guy in the Ember Island Players.
Yes, and it was funny.
Exactly. Compared to some things nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Ura says, someone porking instead of doing the job. That is exactly how two of us died in one of our role-playing sections. Sex
God.
Funnily enough. He didn't die.
Oh,
the
God.
Rest
Roll to seduce, and then you die. Actually, that's how a member of our party got cursed by a succubus, oddly enough.
I remember a story about one, I think it was a, you know what, let's go ahead and skip it, because it...
Like I said, let's wait till after the stream.
Yeah. Well, that settles it. We need to find the rest of the villagers, Sokka. Can you follow that trail?
I'm tough. I'm an earthbender. I'm really good at it, too. Katara is a waterbender, and Sokka is her brother. He isn't a bender. Yay!
Okay, that bit of dialogue is actually not very good, but...
Well, then again, it's Sokka.
It's tough saying it, so... Yeah.
Hey.
She is kind of straight to the point.
I don't know.
We'll see how it goes.
Alright. Aang is the Avatar. I'm supposed to teach him how to earthbend, and Twinkle Toes over there is Momo, Aang's winged lemur. My name is... Lumi. Toph, where are your shoes? Did you lose them like me? Nope. Being barefoot lets me earthbend better than anyone. Plus, it just feels great. I lost the trail. We should rest anyway. Give me that. Toph, that's my last piece of blubbered seal jerky. Oh god, I forgot about that. This is for Lumi. Hey, Lumi, can you do this? Well, none of you can do this. Want to go for a ride, kid?
Rumble, rumble.
Hey! That
What?
laughing almost sounds... Oh, you got it.
Yeah. That laughing almost sounds like... 1, 2, 3. Lumi!
Lumi! Grandpa!
Who are you? Did you come from the village? I guess
We are all that's left. I'll do him.
Yeah.
We are all that's left. The bandits came in the middle of the night. They extorted us for years. This year we took a stand, so they burned everything down. We managed to slip out and run towards the river. We hid until one of us saw your sky bison land. Truly a miracle. How did little Lumi survive?
Maybe it was something to do with that.
An earthbender?
Lumi's mother was one too.
Thank you so much. We will return to the village. Lumi can help us rebuild. Goodbye, Lumi.
Appa, yip yip. You were really good with Lumi back there, Toph.
You sound surprised. I bet training Anne will be a piece of cake. So, about that.
This is the end of the comic. Why would you... Okay, so this comic, nothing really happens.
Unfortunately, yes. I mean, it's better than the High Republic one by a little bit, I'll say. Because, I mean, at least it was flowing consistently and not jumping all over the place.
Yeah, I'm still gonna have to give this one fault for nothing really happening. That's kind of...
Yeah. It's a shame, too, because this one could have been something pretty neat.
This one might have actually been okay had, something actually happened, or if the bandits actually got caught.
Yeah, or if they attacked the gang.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's it for the comic.
So the comic that we got was a filler, and it's a filler that nothing well, obviously fillers don't tend to have much happen in them, but this is an especially bad case of filler.
Yeah, like Naruto style filler, or I don't know, what would you say?
Yeah. This is just bad filler.
I know.
TBA says...
Let's see what the...
TBA says, I guess nothing happening is better than schizo nonsense happening, but that's literally the lowest bar possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess this kind of ends up being a palate cleanser. I can at least say the artwork looks nice.
Yeah, not the best. I wish it didn't have that plasticky sheen, but...
But it's a deliberate choice, and it is consistent.
Yeah.
It does look different from the show, obviously, but then again, the show itself was known to take different art styles when the occasion called for it, so...
Exactly. It's a nice hybrid that...
Yeah.
It's a nice hybrid that kind of contrasts really well.
Mm-hmm. I will give the props to the actual art style. It's just that nothing happens. I will say this, too. For the writing, yeah, the writing is goofy, but it is in character for the most part, although I think the big issue was that massive exposition dump that we got from Toph, that explaining who the characters were to this little girl, which all it did was cause a few pages to be used up that could have been used to actually do something, but...
I mean, I'll give it this. I mean, it makes sense for her character to refer to them in certain ways, but it just...
It does.
Was it necessary, is the question like that?
Not really, because that's a setup where nothing actually happens in the comic for the setup. And if this is... I assume that this is part of a bigger comic book story. I have to assume that, because otherwise...
Yeah.
Wait a sec. I think I might have a theory on what Arthur Chu might have wrote that reminds me. Or Amy Chu, sorry.
Yeah.
I wonder if she wrote the comic for A Legend of Korra. Because they decided to make a Legend of Korra comic that was... If I remember correctly, they made a Legend of Korra comic to try to basically justify the whole lesbian romance at the end by just really... No, she wasn't actually done... No, this is the only Avatar comic that she has actually made. So,
I mean, she's better than Daniel Jose Older. I will say that.
I will give her credit there. She is a lot better than Daniel Jose Older, and for what it's worth, she does get the characters for the most part. Wait a second.
What did you find?
Okay. So apparently there is a. Okay, so there is actually a longer Avatar: Last Airbender comic book series. Let's see what this is, and it came out this year. But I'm going.
I think the comic series may. I was gonna say I think the comic book series was supposed to be the lost season that they were supposed to get because they were gonna do book 4 Air, but it never ended up happening. So they decided to make it into a comic series instead.
Well, that wouldn't make much sense because assuming that if that takes place after the story of the comics or after the story of the show, then he would have already learned earthbending, at least to some degrees. But this makes it seem like he hasn't actually started yet.
Well, I think the reason they were going to do it was so that Aang could fully finish his air... Because he wasn't full... His training of being an airbender wasn't fully complete. If you stop to think about it. Well... I'm trying to remember, because I remember something...
I recall that he was the youngest airbender to ever actually master it. He was considered a master, technically.
Oh, he was?
I think so.
I
know ER
I would not remember that.
I know ER said that he was considered a prodigy who mastered it at the age of 12. Because that's one of the reasons why ER...
He's the Avatar.
Well, no, that's one of the reasons why ER pointed out why Korra is a massive Mary Sue as opposed to Aang. Because Aang was a prodigy who mastered air at the age of 12, and here comes Korra being able to effortlessly
can't master air.
Well, no, but she is able... But the thing is, Aang was focusing entirely on air up to that point. Whereas Korra could effortlessly do water bending, earth bending, and most curiously of all, fire bending, because that's the opposite element for her.
Yeah, they butchered a lot of lore in Korra.
Yes.
And people are trying to justify it for some reason, which is like... I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, ER has done several really in-depth series explaining absolutely everything wrong with Legend of Korra. Even did it on the Wan episodes as well, which are some of the more just ouch on that one. Aura says Korra Sue. Yeah!
Korra Sue. It kind of rolls off the tongue.
Or as... amusingly, ER uses a different phrase for the show. Instead of Legend of Korra, he calls it Legend of Horror.
Nice one.
Anyway, so I will say this. This comic book is, or at least the Avatar portion is okay, but nothing really happens, and so it's forgettable. But
honestly, if I could sum this comic up in one word, it would probably be underwhelming.
Yes. But at least it's not I wouldn't really call this a massive slap in the face to the characters, unlike the massive slaps in the face that Daniel Jose Older does to his characters, so...
Basically, just allegories for forced relationships and identity politics.
Mm.
Like, it's just.
So, anyways,
it's insane.
so yeah, overall, I think we covered pretty much everything, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I think that was all of it.
Well, I think I've got nothing really else to add here. How about you?
Watch out for comics like these. I can't think of anything clever or funny to say. That's all I got on my mind.
I discovered that this comic was free, and I was still disappointed with the price.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Be careful of free comic books.
I mean, we'd say that, but then... I will say this. Even then, there are worse comics that Daniel Jose Older has written for High Republic. And those you are actually expected to pay for.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I can picture someone reliving that episode of South Park where Stan and Kenny have to go get their money back from Mel Gibson, only it's the High Republic authors that people are going to get their money back from them.
Okay, I think I've got the perfect way to summarize my thoughts. The first half of the comic was...
your thoughts.
The first half of the comic was pure suffering. The second half was forgettable with a mild case of disappointment.
Yeah.
So needless to say, the second half was the best part of the whole thing.
But that's not saying much, given the fact that it has faults that are glaring issues.
Yeah. Uro says, Noise, I think he's talking about the ER videos on Legend of Korra. And also, this is why book burning was invented.
This is why what?
He says, this is why book burning was invented.
Oh, that would explain it.
Yeah,
so that's why the 40s happened.
No comment here. Honestly,
I'm sorry. I had to.
Obviously, book burning is not something I endorse.
No,
but,
never ever do it.
But it is something that has historically happened.
Yeah, and it's not for the right reasons in that. Especially with what happened in the Library of Alexandria, which I think was the earliest recorded case of book burning, wasn't it?
Well, I'm pretty sure the Library of Alexandria originally was an accident. That was the lighthouse.
No, Caesar raided it and burned most knowledge. The lighthouse was actually an accident.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But yeah, I know that the library itself was targeted, and I knew that some elements of it afterwards were targeted, because basically you had, I guess, branches or something that were still around, and one of them was destroyed a few centuries later. That was pretty sad as well.
And it's horrible because all that knowledge that probably could have helped us create a better world that we could actually be living in right now is now lost. Mm-hmm. Like, we're never going to be able to get that back. Unless time travel is legalized.
Yeah, that would actually be interesting. Anyways, I think we're at a good point to go ahead and call it. So, unless you have anything else you'd like to add?
I don't have anything else.
All right. So, yeah, this has been Ace.
And Jedi Knight.
And we both hope that you've enjoyed the stream, and we both hope to see you all again soon. Oh, Yokai says Alexandria was burned 13 times. Yeah.
Ew. Yikes. That's even worse.
Uro says, yes, those events are sad. The burning of Jose's books would only benefit humanity. I don't know. We could use them as a means to punish prisoners.
You're giving me ideas. But guys, we're thinking about this too deep. We need to sit down and figure this out. but not make it feel like work.
All right, so I think we'll go ahead and call it now. So yeah, this has been Ace.
And Jedi Knight.
And we both hope to see you all again soon. Until then, take care. Ace out.